Now, about this time last year, in fact, this time last week, Alphonso Davies was, by no doubt, the highest-priced Canadian footballer in history. Not anymore. This past week, we have a new $47 million man in Jonathan David off to Lille of Ligue 1, and so far, he's saying all the right things.
Non, pour moi, bon, c'est un honneur pour moi d'être vu à, on va dire, aussi cher, mais après, ça ne met pas de pression ni rien. Je dirais c'est comme ça, le football. Et après, pour moi, c'est de performer sur le terrain. C'est aussi simple que ça. Ouais, ce qui m'a convaincu, c'est que moi, je voulais aller quelque part où je vais continuer à jouer, à devenir meilleur. Et franchement, ici, il y a une très bonne équipe avec beaucoup de bons joueurs. Il y a un très bon collectif. Et pour moi, le plus important, c'était d'aller quelque part pour continuer à jouer. Et franchement, c'est ça qui m'a beaucoup influencé. Ouais, pour moi, c'était parce que le projet sportif à Lille, il était très bon. Et pour moi, je veux, comme je l'ai dit avant, je veux aller quelque part où je vais continuer à jouer, continuer à progresser. Et après, la première ligue, pour moi, on sait tous, c'est une très bonne ligue. Mais pour moi, la prochaine étape, pour moi, c'était le LOSC.
Well, there you hear it from the man himself, Jonathan David. What a week for him in Canadian football, from Ottawa to Ghent in Belgium and now to Lille in Ligue 1. A great move, I think. He mentioned there, Ricky, the Premier League, and there were clubs sniffing around by all reports, but he chose to go to Ligue 1. Is it a smart move?
I think it is. I remember, I think it was 2.5 months ago, a friend of mine, Charlie Kaikai, is a big agent over there in Europe. He gave me a call specifically, and at the time, if I'm being honest, because I was focused on my other stuff, I didn't really know who he was. And then all of a sudden, he's from me, it's Ron, can you get this kid's number? These teams are interested in him. Like, he's spoken to the technical directors. I was like, what was that? So I went and looked him up, tried to get in contact with Daniel Henry. It was a bit late. So it's really good to see. For me, when I see stuff like this happen, and Alphonso Davies' situation, it makes me so happy. I've been in Canada since 2008 with Toronto FC, and I've always gone on my days off or off season to, what is it, Hershey Centre, Paramount Centre, just play drop-in soccer, just, you know, keep ticking over. I just love it here. That's what you lot do. We don't really have it like that, like in England. And what I've seen is abundance in talent, but there's not enough, and I think I said it to Terry the other day, there's not enough Toronto FCs, there's not enough academies out there to get at this other talent that doesn't get into the Toronto FCs. And this is just showing you've got players that can play in Europe and get bought for 47 million. So what I'm hoping now is that the media here can create more of a platform and stories around who is the next Jonathan David, who's the next Alphonso Davies.
It should also be the CSA. Big responsibility there for them to promote their players as well,
Massive.
Terry. But for you, it's a good move. I mean, we saw last season Victor Osimhen move over for about 60 million euros to Napoli. That's who Davies replacing. So this is clearly a stepping stone for him. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I'd like to say. I think if you spend close to $50 million on a player, one thing that he's going to play. I think he's in the right environment to develop. It's super cool that he didn't get his head turned by money or Premier League or EPL. He really, I think he did a deep dive into where his next step was to get where he really wants to get. And that's to the top. And you know, when you talk about the stigma of Canadian players being hockey players or you know, I think Jonathan David, Alphonso Davies, these guys are trailblazing right now, and that stigma's gone. And if you're going to spend $50 million on a player, and you're Lille, I think that's an investment for them. They're going to say, you know what, we can double that and sell them in 2 years, and that's the roadmap for Jonathan David.
But he must still score goals in a better league than where he's come from. How big a step up is that from Belgium to the top of the French league, where they finished 4th this past campaign?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a step up. Belgium needs no pushover. They've got some good players there, but also he's going into a team and a league with better players. But in Lille, you have better players around him. So I think it's going to be a nice, smooth, easy transition. Like Teo said, he didn't jump into the English Premier League, where things are a lot more rigorous, and the pressure would be mammoth. So I think he's made a smart move.